It's a Hainan Master Spring Invitational. My name's Nomad. Joining me is Mo Farah. Sorry, usually my intros are like the best part of my cast, I think, so I decided to switch it up and do a terrible intro. Did you like it?
Do you know why? That's because the rest of your cast is terrible.
Oh,
So the intro's the only bit that people have to look forward to.
Very offensive. I didn't like that. My name is
very
Nomad, and joining me is this weird guy I pulled off the street once and said, hey, do you want to play some Dota? I'll give you a penny for it. And he was like, yeah, sure, penny's more money than I've ever earned in my life. It's Mo Farah.
Do you know what? That's kind of how it went, though. That's quite funny, really.
it's not as far from the truth as most people would think, no. So, we have game number 3. Game number 1, barely remember what happened, it was over so quick. Game number 2, barely remember what happened, it was just so quick. Game number 3, all I'm hoping for a game longer than 25 minutes. That's all I ask. Do you think it's going to happen?
Yes, I think it will. Because Huskar's not going to be 10th pick this time.
No, it's going to be first picked.
Game 1 was literally GODSENT let through Wisp, and Viking just looked so good with that hero. Game 2 was 10th pick Huskar that they just didn't deal with very well. And then third game, maybe we won't get any cheese. Well, I guess it's not. I really hate the word cheese at the moment, actually. But
there's not really any cheese other than Brood, who we just don't see. So I really don't think there's that much cheesy stuff in Dota right now, which is kind of a shame. I think that's kind of partly because they keep getting rid of all these niche heroes. Like every hero feels like it's being rounded out pretty well, which is obviously good for balancing, good for matchmaking, but it does take away those little surprise elements from matchmaking, but from competitive games. But at least we still got Meepo and Brood hanging out.
Now, I'm pretty sure this hero has been banned out second phase in both the games so far. So, interesting, the Viking, they really want to put some priority on it here, and they just take it straight away at the end of the first phase. It's pretty good against Slark at playing this tempo game. Like, Slark doesn't like playing against these AoE raises. A lot of magic burst damage early on.
The fear now really annoys Slark as well. It's a way to just deal with him when he's inside that ultimate, which he can't really avoid unless he gets a really well-timed... Actually, I don't even think you can purge it off. I think fear is unpurgeable. So, I'm not sure about that.
The other thing for me is that Drow's still in the pool as well. And I think GODSENT have to be wary of that. I think this Drow SF is something that Viking have played a lot before.
Another reason we have this Shadow Fiend as well is because this was one of the really defining heroes of their last matchup. Like when they last played against each other, I think this hero was picked in one or maybe 3 of the games. Definitely 2 of them. I remember that for sure. So it's no surprise for me to see him coming up in the first phase because this was such a high priority for them last time these 2 teams faced off against each other in this tournament.
I still liked that the UK team that used to play used to first phase clock SF all the time. That was my favourite part. I think Tanner was in that team, actually. A long time ago.
Many moons ago.
What happened to Clock, dude? That hero was so fun. It's still super fun. It's just really bad.
Yeah, it's got its place. I think it's underutilized right now, but then again, what do I know?
If you don't get killed, that hero's awful.
Yeah. It feels like all these roaming heroes which don't have any kind of GPM talent or creep farming ability just tend to fall off really hard.
Oh, the Drow got banned.
But Clockwork's another hero who's really good with some neutral items. Like some neutral items on him just make the hero twice as strong. Like Clumsy Net on him is absolutely insane.
I think Essence Ring's pretty good on him as well.
Yeah,
Oh, why?
Yeah, Broom Handle. Brooch as well is fantastic. Phenomenal. Superb. So, yeah, we do have a Wyvern and a Lena coming out. Do you want to talk about those real quick? I'm not sure there's that much to say other than...
I mean, I really like the Lena pick because it's this flex, but it also lanes up okay against the SF. Like, it gets its fair share from the lane. But they can also play it as this 4 as well. High burst damage against the Omni Knight, which is always useful. You know, you want to be able to bring him down quick. I like this Wyvern pick in return, though. Kind of breaks the Slark's game up a lot. If he ever goes on somebody and tries to commit, you just get that curse. You've got the fear to follow up as well. Decent lockdown, decent control. So there was quite a lot to say, actually. Thank you very much.
Yeah, managed to find some gems in there.
I like the Vikings lineup more at the moment, but I also think Omni's just a really strong hero at the moment. So, I think that probably is pushing me in their favour still. But I think when you have first pick overall in the draft, your draft needs to look stronger at this point. It's this 10th pick that you have to be worried.
True. I'm always interested as well. Wyvern versus Slark is a really, really cool matchup in many different ways. There's a lot of nuance there. Obviously, Cold Embrace isn't good versus Slark because Slark is still going to continue getting essence shifts off whoever you've Cold Embraced, but at the same time, Winter's Curse can be really strong, especially if you can catch Slark inside his ultimate. It just locks him down, stops him being able to attack people for the duration of his ulti, and you can just target on his teammate and he'll be stuck. It also can force him into buying a BKB, but now they've got the Zeus, they'll definitely be trying to respond with a lot of magic damage, and this is going to be a way to kind of burst the Wyvern. But an interesting pickup, this Zeus. We haven't really seen Zeus at all this tournament. Is this
I know
mid? I think it
Enigma
is.
have played it before at the major so far for Weeha. But yeah, I would assume it's mid Zeus and then for Lina, but it could be either way around. They need a hero on Viking that can get on backline now. Like, they don't have a hero that just goes in at the moment, and they really need one. The heroes are pretty static at the moment, but they have like this squishy Zeus, like Lina, Lich. They're really easy food. So if they can get on top of them in these fights, they will just melt quickly. And I'm trying, maybe like Puck's still in the pool if they want to go for. Oh. When I think of gap players in my head, I always think of Lycan first, but I didn't think they would actually pick it.
The Madmen, but no, Lycan versus Zeus is so nice. This guy just has an absolute nightmare.
Think of how quickly the buildings are going to die now as well, if they ever like manage to start pushing. They have good wave clear on GODSENT, but if they win a fight on Viking, they just go. They have good Roche now as well with the Lycan.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Lycan gives them the objective taking. At level 15, when Shadow Fiend gets a presence or affects buildings, then yeah, those structures are gonna losing their bricks real fast.
Radiant team ban.
They just need some like, I don't know what they need like a little bit more control. I think on this Viking side from like their last pick, which you would assume it's going to be 5 Wyvern and then they pick a different 4. Yeah, I was going to say the Puck's been banned, which is really unfortunate. I'm surprised they didn't just try and pick it there as their 4th pick. I think it would have been really strong for them.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to think of a hero else that can just offer them the same,
5 seconds
same level of control.
Should be sorry. That was a terrible stutter. Everyone's very angry.
I burped. Leave me alone.
You burped. That's disgusting.
Yeah, but you didn't even hear it. See, I covered myself.
All right, final pick coming up for Viking now. They need to make sure all their bases are covered with this offlane pick. Well, actually, the Omni's probably going offlane, isn't he?
Yes, I would assume GODSENT need an offlaner here. So I'm trying to think of some kind of team fight. Like, I'm thinking something like Tide for them might be okay, honestly.
Could Tide
it lanes
them
up
over?
really well against the Lycan. Were you trying to make a really awful joke there?
Yeah, a pun.
Oh dear.
So it's like a play on words where you you take the meaning and shift the semantics a little bit and give it a double meaning.
Oh,
kind of
your
thing.
casting makes so much more sense now. I've just
dumbing it
not
down for you,
realised
don't
this
worry.
all this time.
I'll start explaining all my jokes for you now, don't worry.
What about Timbersaw for GODSENT?
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
They have a lot of burst damage then, but I don't know if it solves their issues. I think they just need more team fight, like more. Oh, they banned it though. God, I'm so smart.
Ooh, Beastmaster.
Who plays the 4 then? Position 4 Lycan. Let's go.
No.
I mean,
No,
I'm going to assume
it's 4 Omni.
Yeah, but it could be 4 Wyvern 5 Omni as well. Oh, I'm so good at this.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
What
it's
a cool.
It's 5 Omni, by the way, and 4 Wyvern.
Huh, you're right. Interesting.
I'm actually right about everything in this draft.
Yeah,
I didn't say the Lycan pick, but I even thought about it.
True, you did a good thing. Alrighty, well, this is going to be Viking versus GODSENT, the battle of the GGs.GG teams, and, well, final game. Loser gets eliminated. I feel like this would be a very unfair to Vikings end to Vikings story, but at the same time, I don't want GODSENT to go out either. I don't want either of these teams to go out, but one of them has to, and we're about to find out which. Based on these drafts, who do you favor?
I think I prefer Vikings lineup, but it's all going to depend on how well this Zeus does, I think.
I am
If
worried.
Zeus
I am
gets-
worried. One
comes back-
small mistake from Viking could send them back a long, long way in the momentum of this game. They need to make sure they stay on top of this pushing and get this Slark hammered out of the game before he can really come online. It is going to be a race against the clock for Viking to an extent. But the Shadow Fiend's still a strong hero, and I think they do have some ways of dealing with Slark if they play the fights really well.
I know, I disagree. I think Viking have room to make error. Like, they don't push buildings that well in GODSENT. Like, they can't punish you massively hard. Like, you have these 2 saves in the Omni Knight and the Wyvern as well, which is going to make it really difficult to try and, like, bring people down. I just worry about Vikings' laning stage a little bit, that it might be a little bit greedy. But if they can get away with it, their 5-man looks really scary.
Yeah, it certainly does. Alrighty, let's get into it. Game number 3 in Viking versus GODSENT in this best of 3 elimination game. Loser is gone. Mid lane, it's going to be the Shadow Fiend versus the Lina or the Zeus. I don't actually remember who's playing what on the side of GODSENT.
On the side of GODSENT,
Yeah, Zeus mid, right?
yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. Wish was playing Zeus, so. And then, Era Slark,
Yeah, it was,
Boogie, Tide. I can't remember the 4 and 5. But I'm interested to see how the Zeus SF matchup goes. Because we've been seeing SF win a lot of these matchups with the Mangoes. Just being able to raise waves and, offer harass at the start of the game. But Zeus just keeps his distance from you. But at the same time, the Zeus can't really contest the SF's farm. And he can't really stop him from getting souls. So I wonder how much they both get from the lane. I've been pretty impressed with Wish a lot of this tournament. So see what he's got this game.
Yeah, both Wish and Boom have been pretty standout mid players for both their teams, so it's going to be fun to watch them. I think either one of them stands a good chance of making an upset here. But again, Boom just able to come out in really good positions. He's a really strong laner, Boom. That's what I've noticed about him most. He's a very, very strong laner, so I am expecting him to still be able to be fine against his Zeus in the middle lane. Aramis, we've talked a lot about this guy. He seems to be the cornerstone of Vikings' team, both in the previous iterations and this one as well. He's the one they play around most. We'll see how much work he can get done on this Wyvern. It's not an amazing Wyvern game, I wouldn't say as such. His ulti doesn't look like it's going to be destroying the side of GODSENT, but it's going to be control. The percentage-based damage is going to be very nice versus the Tide Hunter.
Looks like they're going to be playing an aggro try, though, on the Dire side and putting the Tide solo safe up against this Beastmaster.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This really weak laning stage on Viking can be exploited. And I think this is really heads up from GODSENT that they need to do that. And this Lina showing here in the bot lane doesn't show anything away, right? Because they still haven't seen the course. You kind of expect this Lina to be down here anyway.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Dire getting away with this tri-lane to start off with at the very least. And this might be a nasty surprise for Viking. Yes, double melee against aggressive try is not a good thing. It's going to be really struggle to return trades here.
But now Shad on this Lycan has to be like, well, do I want to lane against an aggro try, or do I want to lane against a Tide Hunter? And it looks like he's heading up towards the top lane. Oh, if he'd have seen that the Lina was bot, just TP top, I think he probably would have stayed bot.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of patience needed to wait for that one, but we shall see. Meanwhile, Wish versus Boom in the middle lane. We'll see what the Zeus can do to try and shut down. He's got to use his... has he got Lightning Bolt or has he got Arc Lightning? Looks like he's probably gone for Lightning Bolt build. I like that because you stand a... There you go. You stand a chance of getting the range creep off the Shadow Fiend, which of course gives you a lot of money. And also denies a Necromastery stack from Boom. So Boom just trying to clear through the first few creeps as quickly as possible, trying to get his level 2, sorry. Level 6 for the first 2 waves would be very broken.
Yeah, I mean, Wish has to be trying to win these first 3 waves pretty hard on the Zeus. It only gets harder when the SF can start farming souls. Level 2 raises start to hurt a lot more, can push the wave out a lot quicker.
Yeah, but Boom is such a beast at playing these lanes. So up in top, it's Aramis and Shad versus Noya and Boogies. The Light Strike Array comes down, continuing the harass, but in comes Aramis with that very, very annoying chilling touch, which is... sorry, Arctic Burn, which is going to sap away a lot of their HP. And it has settled back into dual lanes now as Toby and Solari make their way down to bottom. Well, Solari sticks around at bottom more like. But this is going to be Lich's lane. He's the ranged hero. He's got the slows. He's going to be playing with Toby and Solari as much as possible and trying to get off as much harass as he can. Back towards mid. It's 9-1 to the Shadow Fiend. Meanwhile, Zeus is 8-2. So not the ideal start to Wish. And it looks like he's been catching some raids in the process as he's had to pop a salve here.
Zeus actually didn't go for the range creep there as well with his lightning bolt, so he's going to be missing that one.
And he's not going to be getting this haste rune either. So yeah, Wish not having the best of times so far in the mid lane. But this is Boom, as I said, beast laner, and he's going for this right now. He's got one raise off. Wish, I don't really think he's got much of a choice but to stay and fight, but luckily with the magic damage he pumps out, but Boom, he's coming back in. He's just picked up this bottle, but luckily he doesn't have the damage to finish off Wish here, so Wish, hurt but not defeated, will be heading back to grab his courier, which probably has a couple of salves for him on it.
Yeah, this mid lane's going to be really important for controlling the active runes as well. So I'd like to see the Wyvern try and play towards this top active rune. It is quite fast, so it might be difficult, especially against this strong lane of the Tide Wyvern, but whoever gets these active runes is going to have a real heads-up advantage in this mid lane. Especially this 4-minute one when, it saves you buying regen, just being able to spam out your spells in the mid lane.
Really low to the lightning bolt in mid there, and he's trying to finish the job, but not quite getting under the tower for it. Meanwhile, Aramis dies in the bottom lane. I'd say I baited the cameraman, but honestly, he can't hear me, so not me.
You did try and bait him towards mid, though.
I did.
Oh, they're actually gonna...
Lich? There's 4 heroes down here currently, and they are going to be able to kill the Lich. Okay, why not?
I like that, though. They're not really winning top lane, so they might as well at least just try and pressure the Slark down bot.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-minute active rune. I really want to see who gets it.
Yeah. Well, we will, because with the new technology we have, Rune Camera will reveal all.
Oh, don't put pressure on them.
I love this production though. I love it. They always go. They're on the point with their rune cameras. It's very nice. They never miss the runes. They always come up with Rune Camera. They're always every single time they come up with it. There it is. Woo! Oh, phew. Zeus was heading towards it. And I was like, oh no, I've cursed them. But no, Zeus will get that one. He gets the Invis rune. Bottles up. Shadow Fiend, after taking several hits from the Zeus there, just having to stay and let his salves kick in. Meanwhile, Shad taking some damage from Neuer as well. It's getting pretty unpleasant. Shad right down in the dumps on the last hits there. Not doing awfully, but definitely very far down when it comes to the core's last hits. In fact, the lowest core of them all.
Easy wolf deny, though.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot.
I wonder... this Omni, I don't know. I feel like they should have just gone for a different support in my eyes. When it comes to the team fights in the mid game, they hit their timing on this Radiant side, they'll look a lot stronger. But their laning stage is so weak because of this Omni being a support. They can't really stop any of the cores on the Dire side from farming.
Yeah, Omni's nice, but garbage in the laning phase. That is his biggest problem. He's just a melon. He's not even a melon, he's a lemon, which is a downgrade from melon, in case you didn't know that.
They get 3 bounty runes on the Dire side. On the Dire side as well, so building up a little bit more of an advantage still. Phase boost on the Tide.
Oh, Wish getting brought low here. Can they finish the job? They can't. OKC comes in with a Frost Shield, saving the day and keeping that Zeus alive. And yeah, might even pick up a couple of last hits and XP for himself in the process. A little self-reward. Goes a long way. Always make sure to reward yourself after you've done something well. That'd be eating a bar of chocolate or, having some ice cream or maybe something more physical.
Why does it have to be all unhealthy? Why are you trying to fatten people up?
Because then they're less likely to go outside and do exercise and more likely to sit in and watch my casts.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that.
Gotta cover every base. Cover every base.
See, look, this is what I mean about the active runes. Wyvern's bot, SF's top, and they're like, I need the rune. My game is going to be very hard if I don't get it this time. He gets the courier. What a player.
Yeah, down it goes. Omni Knight finding some worth. I guess the Omniscience doesn't have any particularly strong ideas on Courier's welfare because he doesn't seem to have any problem murdering them. Unfortunately, Neuer and OKC do. They've got a big problem with Courier welfare, and they're trying to punish Solari for this one. Solari, he's going to die here, but he's messed up the creep equilibrium enough to give his Lycan. some creepy crawlies as they come scurrying back to lane, and they'll stack up on a wave together, so not the worst death in the world, only given 200 gold.
Yeah, creepy equilibrium. If you're going to do this, guys, it was fine that time. Don't do it just before catapults spawn, though. I've seen that in some of my pubs, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, now we just lose a tower.
Yeah, a double wave with the catapult. Thanks, guys. Very helpful.
So now they rotate the Tide bot just to take away this stack. And the Slark just goes top and just carries on farming for free while Shad jungle.
Is under attack.
Oh, the Iron Talon wasn't found by anybody.
Yeah, no, an invisible Iron Talon. I think it was the Tide Hunter who picked that one up, actually. I'm going to ruin that one for you, but...
Yeah. I think it was the creep that killed it, which is why.
You can have a name in Dota which doesn't get recognized, so that's what that is. Someone in my pub had it. It was very annoying, actually. Because, like, someone would drop an item you'd want, and you'd be like, who is it? Where is this item I want? And you check everyone's inventory going, give me the shovel.
SF goes to jungle and is like, oh, Shad was in the jungle. Now both our cores are trying to jungle. This is horrendous.
Yeah, very slow start from Viking, which isn't what we expected, to be honest. But then again, it is what we expected from the laning phase. They don't have a good laning phase. That's what happens when you pick on the 5. And to be honest, Wyvern's not even a great laner either.
And Wish just gets a regen at the 8-minute mark as well, so he's pretty happy.
Yeah. Honestly, Vikings lanes have been actually pretty good considering how bad it looks on paper. You think about all these lanes, like, Zeus should win mid. He hasn't. Boom's done absolutely fine. In the top lane, this Tide should definitely be running all over them. And to be fair, sorry, in the bottom lane he was, but yeah, he's done his job. But the Beastmaster's done absolutely fine, and Lycan's not doing that badly. Solari has managed to make some use of its hero.
I don't know. I think this Lycan really wants to be playing from ahead, though. And I think the Tide makes this game really difficult. It's going to be up to him to see how he uses this first ult, I think, to try and get something done. I think if he can get like this Helm of Dawn, pop the ult, get a Zeus kill or something with it, could make his game a lot easier.
Yeah, that's certainly true if Shad can find it. So I thought he was talking about the Tide Hunter's ult, and I was like, what? Strangely, Tide Hunter's job is not to use his ult this game. He wants to be saving it for the pushes, because once he has that up, it feels really awkward. But yeah, and it comes. I'll just bring him down. There comes the ultimate from Wish as well. Says, thank you very much. I will take that kill. Secure it for you.
Yeah, highest net worth on the Radiant side. Why not?
Yeah, I'll take that cookie. For sure.
Celery TP to lane's like, oh, I'm at 300 health.
Thanks, Wish.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I always like just getting some kind of regen item as a 5 or 4 position whenever you're playing against Zeus as well. Even if it's just like Tranquils or like a little ring of regen or something like that, just because it's really annoying to just constantly get lightning by Zeus, and that's a nice little stun here from Noya. He doesn't have the ultimate, but he's just trying to deal the damage, but they're going for different targets here. Zeus still trying to finish on Aramis, will be successful in doing so. Meanwhile, yep, down goes Solari as well. That's going to make it a double for Wish. Meanwhile, the bounty runes and the outposts have spawned, and it looks like it's going to be one apiece, as both the Dire and the Radiant get one. The bounty runes looking to be relatively even as well. I didn't really spot. There's a bit too much going on to tell for certain. Meanwhile, they're onto the Beastmaster now as well. Stun comes in, but not before the Roar does, messing things up a little bit, and actually Toby runs over, starts taking some chunks out of Noy, but he's got to be careful. Era's on the chase, and now the Lich coming in as well. He's going to throw down the Frost Shield, Electric away, coming down onto the Beastmaster as well, and that will be Toby put to the grave, and a nice little kill for Godsent. As the action continues, and now with the creep wave as well, they can start pushing in here. They've got a catapult, and well, Wyvern's going to try his best to defend that one, but will he be able to do so? Well, yes, but simply, yes he is.
I mean, the problem for the Radiant side at the moment is that nobody can fight into this Tide Hunter. Like, he can basically just do whatever he wants. Because,
yeah, big boy.
Yeah, everyone on the Radiant side's like, oh, there's a Tide in that lane. I can't go there. Maybe SF, but he really doesn't enjoy it still.
No, it was a really good pick. Well done, Mo Farah. You ever consider being a coach?
No.
Oh dear, well, okay, fine, whatever. They did mistime that one a little bit there, didn't quite get the ultimate damage, but they got the fear off on him, that's all that matters. Meanwhile, Shad's popped his ultimate, he just wanted to feel like he was part of things and kind of push down this tower a little bit here, but yeah, I'm not really sure.
What you have to understand is that when we cast and I make predictions, it doesn't matter if I'm wrong. But if you're a coach and you do something wrong, it's really bad.
Well, GODSENT coming in to defend this tower pretty heavily there as they go for shove some wards down and shove out Viking. And Viking, they do respect that. The moment they see that tide, they're just like, yeah, okay, we're going to go to all the lanes. Screw this guy. We didn't like watermelon anyway. Do you like watermelon as a flavor?
I don't really enjoy eating it. It's has a acquired taste.
Yeah.
It's okay, but like
on like a
I
really
wouldn't
sunny
choose it.
day, it's quite pleasant. But even then, it can be a bit too sweet on a sunny day. I don't know about you,
Bit
but I
like
never
me.
feel like sugar. Ew. I don't feel like sugar on a sunny day. I don't know why people really love like super sugary things. Oh, mind you, that said, I do like ice cream on a sunny day. Okay, I take it
Yeah,
back.
so you're just chatting shit, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to pretend to be healthy and then be like, actually, I'm a liar. I'm just
Eats
as
a
bad
tub
as
of Ben
everyone
and Jerry's
else,
in
yeah.
his room at home.
Has
Other
happened.
ice cream alternatives are available.
Yes, yeah, we're not sponsored yet. Meanwhile, OKC, he's getting brought down, but Solari's also taking some damage on the front lines of the Thunder God's Wrath. Jesus, it does finish him off. Meanwhile, Wish comes in from behind. They're looking for Aramis. Aramis trying his best to hide, but Laguna
Yes,
Blade
tied.
finishes the job. Meanwhile, Shad being chased down. Boogie's on the run as well. Shad's coming over. Where is your shapeshift? It's on cooldown from the last time used it for no reason. Now Toby,
Ravage,
he's
dude.
able to get himself away. Toby gets himself to safety. Boogie holds the Ravage for now. So that was all done without a Ravage, and they take down 3 heroes for that one as well, with only losing their 4 and their 5. Very much worth it for GODSENT.
Hang on. They lost their mid tier 1 as well, because this SF didn't even TP to the fight.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
overall, it's probably, yeah, it's still a win for the Dire, but it's not like a massive.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, losing that mid-tier one always a little bit sad. But heads up play from the SF, just never turning up to that fight. It was like, well, by the time I get there, it'll probably be awkward. I might die anyway, so you know what? I'm just going to take a tower, and this is definitely going to be a positive for us.
I like that Shad in the whole of that fight was like, yeah, this is looking really good, and as soon as the tide TPs, then he's like, absolutely not. Get me out of here.
Yeah, doing a U-turn. That 180-degree twist. Did not want to be in that neighborhood anymore.
This Zeus has gone bots first. Interesting.
You know, we did an event, right, and we had this observer, Montreal, I believe her name was, and at the start of every game, she used to look at the courier. This was before the most recent patch. How long did it take to start a game with her now, do you think?
Yeah, that's true.
We
You
got
just have to have
5
all 10
couriers to look through. It's going to be like a full fashion shoot. We're like halfway into the game, like 15 minutes in, and we're finally like, okay, let's get started with the Dota now. We've checked out all these couriers.
I'll ask her, actually.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Talk to her.
Feels
See
nice.
if she's still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I think the Dire should be doing more with the lead they have here. But I then look at the team and I'm like, what do they do? How do they, like, play the map? Like, they have no pushing ability, really. So it's, like, so slow for them to ever make plays.
Ooh, Winter's Curse comes out in the top lane just to help Aramis get away, holding back the Lich, it looked like. Meanwhile, Boom, he's trying to stack a couple of raids onto Boogie, but Boogie doesn't mind.
Oh, Pupil's Gift. The SF's going to love that one. Van Brace for the Slark. He's going to be pretty happy with that too. Double null on the Zeus he could pass it off to.
Make your supports build you a Van Brace. I tell you, it's going to happen. If that doesn't start happening, I will be surprised. Like, Kuro and Puppy want to build Van Braces for their cause, I'm telling you. It's probably their cause being like, please, don't waste 1,000 support gold making me an item. Like, please, sir. And we're talking about the guy who got inside heroes and literally didn't play the game in order to make them more
Yeah,
powerful.
just press
so
Q over and over again.
he 100% wants to make people Van Braces. Oh, ultimate out, but going to get cancelled out by OKC, but still going to come off as he runs over to the side. Might even come back on this one. See if he can hunt people down the backlines. Meanwhile, Raw comes out into the slug. Can they finish the job though? No, they cannot, because there's a Ravage in the backlines. Ira coming in. They'll bring down Aramis, and now Toby's in trouble as well. Meanwhile, the Lycan trying to get something done in the backlines, trying to chase off the Zeus, but it's really struggling to do that. Meanwhile, Boom gets the ultimate. Fear out onto Ira, but it's not really enough. And now that shapeshift has run out, Boogie in the middle of everybody, but happy to do so. Happy to tank up in the entire face of Viking. Meanwhile, OKC, it does die in the backlines just to the Lycan's creeps, but all in all, a pretty anticlimactic fight. Only 2 supports dying in this one. Very little gold change, not really anything happening. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're looking at just taking Roche. They know Ravage is down.
Yeah,
so what are they worried?
Got the auras, they've got the double damage on the Shadow Fiend, and Roshan is getting his face bashed in. But in comes a Tide Hunter, scaring them all out. Roche aerial drone shot, giving us the best view in the house, but it's actually Boogie who's getting really low here. They've actually... Oh, nice ulti, though. They might be able to bring down Wish here. Nicely timed right-click from Boogie, going to ensure the job, and now Noya goes down as well. This isn't the Roche fight you wanted, GODSENT, but I'm not sure they had much of a choice anyway. Viking back in the pit, trying to finish it off with the double damage on Boom, and they've got to be cursing Gaben right now for giving this double damage to Senor Boom.
He's going to go in on the Tide.
Thinking about it, comes around in the backlines, but yeah, Roche falls, and Aegis will be picked up by the Shadow Fiend.
He killed the Wyvern, though, so that's something.
I grabbed someone at the very least, but yeah, a very small victory in a big series of losses here for GODSENT, and Boogie forced back by Boom once again. Here, we've got to be careful as well. They don't have the... Well, they do have the Roar, sorry, so that's why I said you had to be careful. Definitely knew that. Shut up. Shut up, Farah. Stop laughing.
I would never. This People's Gift, by the way, on SF, he is so strong now. Look how much HP he has. He almost has BKB finished as well. Like, what do they do?
Does Imp Claw work on Tide's E?
Dire's top tower is
So I know it works on Boundless Strike, so in theory, one would imagine the same thing doth apply.
Yeah, because
You can
Dota
crit
code,
with it as
really,
well, so...
Dota code is really easy to understand like that.
Very consistent, yeah. Who knows, it probably, like, I don't know, does, like, triple the damage, but only to melee heroes or something.
I haven't seen the Beastmaster's items in the wild, but I'm hoping somebody on the Radiant's going for a pipe.
Yeah, he should be building the auras since we've got a Lycan in the game. He's going to be going for the Necro units and such, but what do I know? I'm just a caster. In comes Toby. He's looking at Boogie. Toby, Boogie, they both got eyes at the end of their names, but Solari joining in as well. And they're just going to drop the ultimate. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, Shad chasing off the heroes in the backlines. Yeah, the clumsy net comes in. I think that was a Lycans, actually. Meanwhile, Boogie, oh, they're going to roar him up, but immediately broken. What roar? Doesn't matter, though. They're still going to grab the kill. Boogie goes down. They might look for more here, but there is a Chain Frost bouncing around these creeps, which is just murdering Lycan's army. And Toby's Necro units. Oh, Toby does have a Necro as well, I think.
He has a pipe on the Beastmaster, though, for sure.
Okay.
Because I saw that effect come out, so that's something.
So Pipe, Necro, and Beastmaster?
I assume it's just Necro 1, but...
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. You're a
No, it
liar.
doesn't.
You're a
What?
filthy liar.
I thought a creep died and... Oh, no, wait, never mind. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Lycan's a Necro.
Yep. Like it does have Necro, but I thought they both did, but they don't. I can explain what happened, but it would take way too long. It's a very confusing series of events which led me to believe that, and I cannot get into it. Just know it was very complicated.
Definitely just wasn't him making a really stupid mistake.
No. Shut up, Movar. Might become my new catchphrase.
Radiant supports GPM talents. Dire supports no GPM talents.
Oh,
I know
you're
which
right, GG.
support I'd rather be.
Still not Omni Knight. I hate playing Omni Knight as support. It's a garbage hero.
I don't know. I think it can be okay sometimes.
It's
just not
good at the it's good. Yeah, it's good when you hit like this 20-minute mark and you're like, phew, and my team barely survived through the start of the game. But if your team doesn't survive at the start of the game, then you do feel just like a potato.
I feel like a potato in all my games.
Oh, that's because you look like one as well.
Okay, well, fuck you. It's okay because I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
It's all just my built-up rage.
Squeeze out every now and again. The dam leaks, but unlike the
if I didn't say it now, it would be worse. Like later on in the cast, so I just let it out.
You know, there's a statue in I want to say I don't know where. I think it's one of the Scandinavian countries. I think it might be Helsinki, and it's a little boy with his finger in a crack, and don't laugh. And it's supposed to symbolize the story of like this little kid, right, who was out for a walk along the dam. He saw a crack in the dam and put his finger in it to stop the water leaking out because he knew that the water leaking out would mean the whole dam would crumble and his village would die. So he stayed there with his finger in the crack until he died. And Yeah, they put a
Yeah,
statue
but then
up
when
for
he
him.
died, surely it carried on, and then
Yeah,
the dam
I mean-
broke anyway.
That's what I'm wondering. But you know, apparently that's a statue, and yeah, I'm just saying that's kind of like this game in a way. I'm not gonna
You know, I
elaborate.
wasn't gonna laugh at all until you said, "Please don't laugh at that." And then that was the bit that set me off.
Well, gotta allude to the innuendo. Lead some people there. Some of the more innocent-minded people.
Oh,
He's all right. He's chilling. He's just hanging out on the top lane, you know, drawing some heroes over. Wasting about 3 seconds each there across 5 heroes.
might-
That's 15
yeah.
seconds of time created.
I was going to say they might try and set up for something on here with a curse, but just runs away.
Can you have any Grace Couriers?
Probably not.
Okay.
Actually, maybe you can. I have no idea.
No, because you can't do it onto creeps and onto like controlled units, and generally that's a rule. Creep generally counts as like a necro unit or something like that. I don't think you can heavily grace those. Though I don't know. That said, well, in they go onto the Beastmaster. Just turns around with the roar. He really wants to live here, but he's just not gonna. Brought down by GODSENT, sending him to God.
At least the Aegis has gone down, so like they use the Aegis timing to try and like get as much of the map as possible. It goes down, they lose the Beastmaster, but they're kind of just farming anyway now, so it's not a huge deal.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, everyone's just very chilled in this game. No one really feeling the pressure too much. I think both teams in a fairly confident position, and I think it's really going to break out when this Roche respawns. I say that, there's a Winter's Curse coming down to the Slug. Boom thinking they're ulting it, but realizing that the Tide's right behind him, but probably not a good idea. And they will chill out for now.
I like that the Slug's going Axe here as well. It's really important that he can get onto the Omni Knight and the Wyvern at the start of the fight. This double save.
Shad, he's in some trouble right now. He's going to try and pop the shapeshift to get himself out of this sticky situation. Aaron needs to land the pounce, but will not be able to
good
do
diffusal.
so. Okay. Why not, I guess? He's being chased down by these creeps. I don't know. Well, okay, they found a
The
different
Lich
target
dead?
now. They're just going on it. Stun them. Light striker right. There we go. Cool. Phew. I thought Noy was just going to try and watch him die. But no.
Yeah, I really like the diffuser from the Slark to stop the Lycan from running away.
Yeah.
That was the best bit.
It doesn't
I'll
do
get
anything
you.
other than slow, does it? It used to purge, but that was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
not anymore. Remember when Diffusal had a
Golden
level
days.
2?
Yeah, it was red. Or pink.
People used to argue about whether you should upgrade it straight away for the stats or just save it for the purges.
Yeah, because he used to have 7 charges as well for some reason. It was a very weird
Yeah.
item. I don't know
Dire
whose idea a diffusal blade was.
Thank
New one
God
makes
they
much
got rid
more
of that
sense.
item. It was-
Yeah, it could kill
No, you
Golem
could
as
be able
well.
to, like-
That was the
Yeah.
weirdest thing. It was just like, oh, and it kills Golem. Oh, okay. Aramis with the 4-staff to keep himself safe from the wrath of Slark.
Boom?
Sup guys, how's it going? Boom's my name and playing Dota's my game. He's gonna try and chase him down. Roar comes out onto Lena. Alright, that's an easy kill. Pick her off with the back lines and bring
they
her
want
down a
to do-
beautiful Winter's Curse. Landing onto the Slug. Can they finish him off in time? Then comes the Fear, and that is just brutal. What a combination from Viking there as they keep him locked down before and after the Winter's Curse for the full damage to come in and take effect. And that is just 3 heroes, one after the other. 3 eggs cracked in a row to take a lovely little omelet, which now Viking gonna pack up in a lunch box, bring down the middle lane, and take down that tier 2 tower. See, it took you on a bit of a ride there. Didn't know where that one was going, did you?
I didn't at all, no. Minimum Roche spawn time's about to hit, but they really want buybacks being 4-star. On a bounty rune. Oh, what a time to be
Oh,
alive.
what a time to go bounty rune. Yeah, everything going the way of Viking. Everything is coming up Millhouse for them. GODSENT. Well, they will be able to clear out these creeps. The Chain Frost is committed.
Yeah, and they don't use any buybacks on the dark side, but they lose about a third of their health on the tower. So
Roche
at least
timing's
Viking gets
very
some-
short. About 20 more seconds left on that timing.
What was a mind breaker as well on the Lycan?
Titan Sliver, Mindbreaker. I know which one I'd prefer.
Is it just me, or does this Zeus feel like it's been really underwhelming this game?
Yeah, we knew that was going to be the case, though, when you're playing against Lycan and Omni Knight. It's just... I mean, I don't know why they picked it into Omni Knight, to be fair, but there you go. I know it doesn't reduce
Tide
the amount of
is-
magic damage, but...
Ty's just running into them, by the way. He's like, hello, guys. He has a halberd, by the way, as well. Really good pickup from Boogie.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Does mean they don't have The oh, another thing as well about the another Winter's Curse, and Boom, has he got the ultimate? He doesn't want to use it, though, because they're just going to throw the Roar into him. Why not? Now Boom goes to the ultimate, but Ira is able to get off the ultimate beforehand, but 2 raises land on him, so he hasn't really actually gained that much health, and now it's Shad on top of him. He's going to go down again. Boogie comes in with a big Ravage, but it's too late. Slark already dead. Ravage for nothing, and Boogie might just get run down all the same. Okay, so you know they've got the clumsy net. Oh, God, that feels awful. Toby on the cliff. He just wants to get a bird-eye view of OKC getting murdered. He is leading him on a bit of a run here, though, but Jesus, those right clicks. Run, run. Frost Shield being used here. Turns around with the ultimate, tries to go for a cheeky one, but unfortunately, it's just going to be a cheeky kill for Viking. Does take a bit longer than it should, at the very least, and he's led them away from the lane, but unfortunately towards Roshan, which Viking will now take with glee in their hearts, hunger in their eyes, and satisfaction in and around their stomachs.
Insane play by Toby as well, realising he probably doesn't have a Hawk up at that time, so just blinks onto the cliff as well.
I mean, there was a Hawk next to him, but yes. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you can't commit the Ravage on the Tide unless you're actually going to protect the Slark there. Like, it just came out far too late. All of a sudden, they don't have Ravage anymore. There's an Aegis on the Radiant side, and they're going to be like, well, we're just going to go for this.
Yeah, big mistake there from the Tide Hunter, and that might cost them, and maybe even a little bit more than some buildings, maybe a little bit more than some racks. It might even be the game here. I don't see much slowing Viking down. You're in a great position to go. But we'll see.
He has a Dragon Lance as well on the SF, just to attack from further away.
Yeah. Hitting from the low ground is always very nice, but they're able to push out these creeps. They have great creep clear, actually. This high ground is going to be very difficult for Viking, so we should take that into account. Yeah, meanwhile, Aero's just messing around outside of the base. Now, he should go to top here. I don't like this. I don't like why people keep on going to lanes where the creeps aren't pushing in. Like, you can help your team, and oh my God, there's a curse coming out. Ultimate comes down, they just wreck Wish. Noya goes down as well as OKC. Meanwhile, Toby trying to go onto Boogie on the backlines. Boogie going on Tim. Boogie on the run now and gets dropped as well. It's 3 kills, 4 kills straight off the back. Zeus buys back immediately, but their base is cracked open like a nut. And now Shad looking towards Wish, actually throws down the clumsy net. He might be in some trouble though. He's gone in a bit too deep. Does have the cheese to pop though. And he bit it off well. Oh no, he gone! Oh dear. Yeah.
Wow.
Forgot about that one. Sorry, says Shad. That's going to put
just ended the game.
Yeah.
But
you know, sometimes you cheese. Sometimes you get Thunder God's Wrath. Sometimes you look like a bit of a lemon. But that's okay. They've got the chance to reset. They're still in a great position. They've taken the middle lane racks. It just an opportunity to lose the game. I tell you what, if they lose now, Shad is going to feel like less of a lemon and more of an egg.
Like he really likes pizza.
Pizza? Oh dear, yeah. I got there in the end.
Right, it's going to be a long day. I can feel it.
Well, we're on a game 3, but it's a short game 3. But yeah, the other series should have started half an hour ago. So
I mean, this is a really long game for you. No, the next series isn't even supposed to start.
Oh,
30 minutes.
Oh, is it starting at 7 CET? I thought it was 6
CET.
Is. Might be. Might be on time then. Meanwhile, Lycan, is he good? Is he good? He's running in circles. He's trying to run around. Yeah, but that was very early. Probably too early. And he's going to get finished off here. Meanwhile, in the backlines, they try to go onto the lead. Whoa, they get the Wyvern. No goal to Winter's Curse from him. Meanwhile, Boom going to pop the ulti in the middle of everyone, trying to get down the Slug. He's got the Frost Shield on, though. Tanking up a lot here and leaping away with that Aghanims. Going to get himself to safety. Meanwhile, well, his courier's gone. And Noya's going to go down as well. Oh, big crit from Boom. The Daedalus coming in huge and bringing down Lina before she can get into the pit. Meanwhile, I don't think she was getting out of that one anyway. Slark is able to run away on the side with that Aghanim Scepter, which is doing a great amount of work for him, but 2 heroes dead. Is that going to be enough of an invitation for Viking to go high ground? I really don't think so.
I think it is, because they don't have Ravage anymore. So who cares?
Okay, I guess who cares? It does look like they're charging up the high ground with their singular catapult. Oh. No, there we go. They listen to Nomad.
I was going to say, you still have Winter's Curse as well, so I really feel like they could have done something there.
Ugh, quiver. Just leave that on the ground. Who cares about that item?
Give it to the Wyvern, dude. It's pretty good. You get the curse, you get the burst damage on the target straight away.
Wait, do they have the Mindbreaker? Someone had a Mindbreaker. If they had a Mindbreaker, I'm still...
Lycan has it.
Yeah, Mindbreaker plus Arctic Burn plus Quiver. Just get like the longest range 2-second silence of your life.
But why does it have to be those two items together? I don't understand.
Because Enchanted Quiver increases the range of the first attack by 600.
But if you're attacking from further away, then the silence doesn't matter as much because you can't get to them as quickly.
But what if you need to get there quickly? What if you're really far away from the fight for some reason? Or it's someone in the
that's my
backline?
point.
What if you're trying to cancel out a Ravage? You could cancel Ravage with that before he blinks in.
That's so sick.
That
see your...
That is so
Wow.
sick.
They get one
Wow.
on the die.
Do they have a quiver? I want this to become a meta combo.
Wish brought back.
Is under attack.
Wish might be wishing he hadn't bought back, and he might be wishing for more teammates right now, and he might be... Oh, never mind, he's fine. They'll turn their attention to Lich instead, though. Lich gives his life for the cause. Take me, daddy, he says, as he goes down with pride. Meanwhile, Toby gets caught up by an LSA. That's a leader, really getting over-aggressive. Slark just comes flying past Shad. Shad's just like, okay, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No,
Is under attack.
it's a Slark.
At least the Zeus didn't die there, because I think that probably would have been the game. They have to be
Yeah,
really
maybe.
careful.
GODSENT teetering on the edge of oblivion for this tournament. Their invitation
Radiant's top tower
to that
is under attack.
I mean,
Hainan Invitational.
spring.
Spring Invitational.
You forgot. Just throw a few words together and just hope that it works. Is that the plan?
I mean, kind of. That is tournaments right now. Do you remember the one esports event? That one had the longer. It was like the one esports invitational esports World Series event premiership.
Invitational.
Invitational.
It's the same word like 3 times in it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's nice though because you think you made a mistake when you're reading out the title, but most of the words you could mistake it with are in the title anyway. So it's just like, oh, cool.
I don't know why this is not building a BKB.
He's a YOLO master.
Oh, dear.
Meanwhile, they've caught the Slark out. This could be bad. This is bad. Slark gets butchered. They're going to be having fish for dinner tonight. Does have buyback nonetheless, so should be able to come back for the defense, but still gives them another win condition here, which just seems to be stacking up as the Zeus and the Slark now going to be without buyback for the high ground push. A
Telescope
on Zeus.
on the Zeus is really good.
Yeah, really great for this high ground defense if he can get in position in time, and he has TP back already. They're ready to defend.
They just want to get the
Shad's looking
slot
for creeps.
back here.
Yeah, Slight buyback and out. Maybe wait for Roshan. But boom, he's got no chill. He's up on the high ground without having any grace on him, so happy to just kind of tank things up for now and get those right clicks onto Boogie. If he landed a couple of crits there, that could have been dangerous, but luckily he does get away. And there comes a fortification first, so still holding on to that Slark buyback. 30 seconds, but Shad, he's just messing around. Coming around the
gonna go
side
rat?
here. Yeah, what's he thinking about? What's
Oh
he
no, there's a
thinking
tier
about?
2.
Oh no, there is. Rat the tier 4s. Fuck it.
He really wants to be able to go on the back line and get the leader and the Zeus, I think, when they commit. So he's kind of
Yeah.
just hiding out the way.
Yeah, I kind of like Boogie's positioning. Like, he's not too far on the front. He's also protecting the sides as well. The flanks, if you will.
The problem is, though, that it's so difficult for them to push without having the Aegis up. Like, they can't commit. Oh, there's a blink on the Wyvern now. Big pickup from him. Aramis has been such a big part of this game already, and now that he has the blink, his position is going to be even easier to get these big curses off.
You're moving around the map. He's much safer now that he's got this leap, but to be honest, it hasn't meant too much because of this catch they've got. The Wyvern, the Roar, even the ultimate from the Shadow Fiend now as well. It all
I think
adds
the way
up.
the Dio are looking at this, I thought they were going to go bot and assume that someone's going to have to defend this bot wave, but they seem to look to try and link up towards mid instead.
Let's see, GODSENT scouting out nearby. Breaching the high ground. Boogie leading the charge. Again, just not a hero they want to go on. Can break out of the Roar easily enough. In comes Aero, just going straight away onto Solari, and they're going to drop the ultimate from the Zeus as well, just to get the vision, controlling up these creeps of the Lycans, bring them down as best they can, but they're still chasing Noi here. Look at the crit! Boogie's got to be careful here as he backs himself up, but Boom's still chasing, throwing those right clicks. In comes the stuns, but in comes the Heavenly Grace as well, and a beautiful curse coming out now. Boom setting up for the ultimate, trying to grab themselves 2 kills. Boogie, can they bring him down? Yes, they can. Godlike on Boom as he takes down 2, and they'll look for more. Slark, though, jumping himself away before that roar from Toby can come off. Meanwhile, Wish still defending from the high ground. That telescope giving him such range. Still trying to control and fight, but in comes a GA, making it very difficult for them to really do much against Viking here, so Viking will be given the option to retreat. Meanwhile, Era looking in from behind, and then comes a Ravage onto the front lines, but it doesn't really catch the Shadow Fiend. Only the Omni Knight, who they'll be able to take down almost instantly, but in comes a Cold Embrace. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. The magic damage is there.
God,
Boom, though. He's in trouble, but he's turning around, healing up massively from that button. The range is there. Can they bring him down? Meanwhile, Era coming in around the sidelines as well, coming back one into this one, the Slark. He's got to be so careful, though. The damage from the Shadow Fiend is absolutely insane. He's going to get hit by all these crits. Oh, he just about survives it, though, for the time being, but they know where he is. Axes to chase. GODSENT on the run, pulling it back towards their base. They are scared, and these wolves doing a great job on scouting. GODSENT do make it, and only 3 heroes die there.
I thought SF had a Satanic, and it's a Paladin sword.
What?
Jesus.
Jesus, indeed. Yeah.
He was life-stealing so much.
Is there any other form of lifesteal?
No, it's
Look at
literally
it.
just that.
Is there not a talent or something? Because
No.
Vlad's even? Oh, Winter's Curse. Who have they found? Who have they found? Winter's Curse. It's onto the Slark. Do they have the lockdown for him, though? He's managing to get the ultimate off, and he's actually fighting. He's looking for heroes. I don't think he should be, though. Boogie's going to be tempting on the front lines. This might be the last fight right now, as GODSENT might have overextended a little bit too much. Viking trying to control them up and get some kills under their belts right now. Boogie's going to be the one to go on for now. Boom is here. Here comes the damage, but it's not really enough. But in comes a crit. Meanwhile, the Chain Frost bounces around, but 2 just drop like that. Neuer and Boogie taking another fight. Boogie does not have buyback. There is no Tidehunter for 6 whole minutes of the buyback, and OKC are going down as well. Toby on the sidelines might get dropped by Era, but Era realizing he has to get out, but for what? With only 3 heroes left, it's going to be so hard for them to defend. They're against an Aegis as well. Viking in control, and they have just put the final dagger into this game to finish things off. Neuer trying his best here, trying to throw some spells onto Boom, but Boom is a monster. And they are not monster slayers. They are not witches. They're just trying to fight up as best they can. Throw a Laguna Blade at him. Boom doesn't care. He's just going to 4-staff out. Let the Heavenly Grace heal him back up. What?
He does have a Satanic
He does have a Satanic now. Okay, okay. I was like, I knew it was ridiculous, but come on. So this guy's damage and his heals are through the roof.
There is a refresher, by the way, on this SF in his backpack as well, which I assume he should be passing off to somebody here.
Yeah.
It gives it to
Aramis.
Aramis.
Yeah. But they're backing out. They're not going for the end here. Surprisingly. Really surprisingly, actually. I feel like the doors are open, but they are...
It's really hard to push into Zeus, so
yeah,
I think you just play for the racks. Like, you're not going to take the throne before the tide comes back up again, and then he has Ravage, and then you're probably going to want to back off anyway.
I just know... Oh, Era, he's got a double damage. He sees Celerari, but turns around, tries to get Aramis. Aramis has a 4-star, but in comes the Thunder God's Wrath. Might be enough, but the GA comes out, along with the Cold Embrace, and now Slark has to leave. But they got on top of him. In comes a Cold Embrace. The Winter's Curse holding him back. Tubi has a Roar as well. Gonna throw the Roar down, and Slark. Oh, no. He does have a buyback, but to use it like this, it is not what you want. But, I mean, he had to make some sort of try here, some sort of play.
Yeah, I kind of respect that. Like, he picks up a DD, he's like, guys are losing. I think I'm going to have to do something, you know, pretty crazy to try and win us this game. I have buyback, let's just take the risk.
Exactly, exactly. It's fine to make those. Refresher onto the Tidehunter, keeping him still, but for what? I'm not too sure. Well, for this, apparently, as Boom jumps in with that BKB, trying to pop the ultimate, and they've actually found the Lich on the sidelines. Trilich trying to be cheeky, but unfortunately, he's just going to try and drop all of his spells here, but he is dead. Crick, leaving him in twain. Meanwhile, the rest of GODSENT gathering on the high ground for this defense. Their tier 2 tower getting beaten down. Yeah, apparently there's a backdoor of defense on here, but I don't really see it. These guys' damage, their aura is just stacking up on one another and making them hit so damn hard. Here, going to try and take some chunks out of Boom, but it's going the other direction right now. That Heavenly Grace, that Satanic, healing him up instantaneously. GODSENT, they need something here. They need to defend. They need to hold. They don't have their Lich. They don't have that Frost Shield. They can't bring down Boom. He's got the Heavenly Grace on him. This Omni Knight is just destroying any chance which GODSENT have of finishing the job. And now with that 25 talent even on Boom as well, the extra anti-armor which is going to affect the buildings as well is... Oh, what do you do here? What do you do? Ravage play might be an option.
That's not even his active.
Yes, it's not even active. I mean, the Paladin Sword, it's amplified. Oh, okay, Shad just comes into the backlines, murders Neuer. Meanwhile, they continue focusing the barracks right now. There is a Ravage on the backlines. They might be able to rip apart, at the very least, the Wyvern, but still, they can't. Thunder Gods comes out. The Era wants to come back in, but the Winter Skirt's going to cause the poor old Slark to murder his teammate. Era feels horrible. Blood of his teammate on his hand. 3 heroes dead. Toby just going for the win with Shad right now. The Ancient is falling. There's nothing left. They call GG. Viking take the game. The series, and it's always funny when they miss that. Eliminate poor old Godsent. They had a great run here in the lower bracket, but unfortunately, it is Vikings day to day.
Yeah, they played really well on this Radiant side, but I feel I don't know how they were supposed to ever like push their advantage on this Dire side. Like they did really well at the start of the game. They had decent laning stage, which they obviously needed to have up against this Omni Knight, but they couldn't ever really go for anything more. And all of a sudden, the first A just goes to the Viking side because they get this DD on the SF. There's no Ravage up, and they're like, "Well, we don't really care about the rest of the Dire heroes. They don't do anything." Aramis played really well on Wyvern as well. I think this game, lots of setups for the Roars, for the Requiems, and if Boom doesn't die all game, he's gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, that puts an end to the series and puts Viking through to the lower bracket finals to play off for a spot in those all-important grand finals where they could find themselves heading to Hainan. Meanwhile,